It is easy to see the beginnings of things, and harder to see the ends. I can remember now, with a clarity that makes the nerves in the back of my neck constrict, when New York began for me, but I cannot lay my finger upon the moment it ended. Can never cut through the ambiguities and the second starts and the broken resolves to the exact place on the page where the heroine is no longer as optimistic as she once was. When I first saw New York, I was 20, and it was summertime, and I got off at DC 7 at the old Idlewild temporary terminal in a new dress, which has seemed very smart in Sacramento, but seemed less smart already, even in the old Idlewild temporary terminal. And the warm air smelled of mildew and some instinct, programmed by all the movies I'd ever seen and all the songs I'd ever read about New York, informed me that I would never quite be the same again. In fact, it never was. Sometime later, there was a song in the jukeboxes on the Upper East Side that went, "But where's the schoolgirl who used to be me?" And if it was late enough at night, I used to wonder that. I know now that almost everyone wonders something like that. Sooner or later, no matter what he or she is doing, but one of the mixed blessings of being 20 and 21 and even 23 is the conviction that nothing like this, all evidence to the contrary notwithstanding, has ever happened to anyone before. Of course, it might have been some other city. Had circumstances been different, and the time been different, and had I been different, it might have been Paris or Chicago or even San Francisco. But because I am talking about myself, I am talking here about New York. That first night I opened my window on the bus into town and watched for the skyline, but all I could see were the waste of Queens and big signs that said Midtown Tunnel this lane, and then a flood of summer rain. Even that seemed remarkable and exotic, for I had come out of the West where there was no summer rain. And for the next 3 days I sat wrapped in blankets in a hotel room air conditioned to 35 degrees and tried to get over a cold and a high fever. It did not occur to me to call a doctor, because I knew none. And although it did occur to me to call the desk and ask that the air conditioner be turned off, I never called, because I did not know how much to tip whoever might come. Was anyone ever so young? I'm here to tell you that someone was. All I could do during those years was talk long distance to the boy I already knew I would never marry in the spring. I would stay in New York, I told him, just 6 months, and I could see the Brooklyn Bridge from my window. As it turned out, the bridge was the Triborough, and I stayed 8 years.